So you want a new job, a new relationship, a new house, a new body, a new bank account. Or maybe you don't actually. Maybe what you want is how you think those things will make you feel when you get there. I've been thinking a lot about desirable feelings lately. A rainstorm, cozy fireplace, peaceful contentedness, being done climbing the ladder, being confident, feeling excitement again, feeling freedom, feeling finally settled or finally enough. What if you don't need some future perfect state or future perfect results to feel all of the good feelings? Waiting to feel good may just be the reason you're still stuck. Today, we're going to talk about the thought work habit that can completely change your outlook and your results.
Welcome to the Bold Life School, the show that empowers you to elevate your life and to step into your full potential. I'm your host, Jamesyn, and this is where ambition meets authenticity, where you'll find the tools and inspiration to grow, evolve, and thrive. Each week, we dive into powerful topics that challenge the status quo, whether it's to break through limiting beliefs, navigate life's transitions, or embrace the bold moves that push you beyond your comfort zone. Now let's get into today's episode.
Many women live in a low hum of anxious, uneasy, fed up, not in crisis, not falling apart, just tired. Tired of wanting something that they can't quite put a finger on. Tired of scrolling past lives that look the way they imagined theirs would by now. I can remember doing a lot of this in my younger years, watching really exciting shows like Sex and the City in my 20s and thinking, I want that life. The apartment, the clothes, the social excitement, the certainty that she belonged exactly where she was. Being a woman who walked into a room like she owned it. But I didn't want her job. I wanted the feelings underneath it. Confident, sharp, fully in control of a fast-moving life. Looking back, I was clearly telling myself a story about these women's lives with rose-colored glasses on. Carrie's relationship with Big left much to be desired in retrospect. Yet somehow, I was only seeing and believing the good. And the story we tell ourselves is, once I get there, the promotion, the partner, the paid-off house, the life that looks like hers, I'll definitely feel better, different. Everything will be good. But that's actually backwards. You can have all of the external material assets in the world and still not feel good inside. Because circumstances, what's happening out there, don't create feelings. It's your thoughts about the circumstances that do. You can have the same circumstance with different thoughts and a completely different feeling. For example, two women get passed over for the same promotion. One woman thinks, this proves it, I'm not cut out for leadership. She feels defeated, she shrinks, she stops raising her hand for the next opportunity. She might even be resentful or mad. As a result, she steps back and becomes less visible. Her boss might wonder what's going on, but she's not going to go out of her way anymore for rejection. While women number 2 thinks, this is good feedback. It's not an assessment of my value. These are the same circumstances, but she feels curious instead of crushed. She asks for feedback, learns from the situation, keeps a positive attitude, and goes after the next role differently. The circumstances between these two women were identical. The feeling and everything that followed it, the actions, the avoidance, all of those were built entirely by the thought, which means the feeling you're chasing isn't 12 steps away, it's one thought away. Not a fake thought, a trained thought, a chosen thought, an owned thought. Then drives better feelings, more action, and ends in optimal results. That process, That's the work. When we use this model for coaching or self-coaching, let's be clear about what it's not saying. It's not saying that the life circumstances around you don't matter. If your boss is abusive, if you're underpaid for the value you bring in, if the environment is actually unsafe or toxic, no thought fixes that. This isn't a case for staying in something that's genuinely wrong and calling it a mindset problem because you can't think your way out of it. Here's the distinction. Ask yourself one question. If I changed the thought that I had about this situation and nothing else changed, could I actually stay here? If the honest answer is no, the job's unsafe, the pay doesn't cover your life, the treatment is abusive, that's not a thought problem. That's a circumstance that needs to change. So go and change it. But if the honest answer is yes, maybe you recognize that you've been in a negative thought spiral, that you're not showing up who you want to be, and what you're actually carrying is disappointment, uncertainty, or an expectation that didn't get met. That's where the thought work starts paying off. Even when the circumstance doesn't change, the new job, the new relationship, the different city, the feeling you're after doesn't arrive automatically. Sure, you'll fix the real circumstances. Your day might get better, but the confidence, the freedom, the finally enough, that was never manufactured by your old circumstances, no matter how hard they were. So it won't be manufactured by your new circumstances either. If you're still showing up with the negative attitude, the defeatism, the feeling targeted at your new role, you will quickly see that even though the job changed or the circumstances changed, there's room for you to change. That part is still yours to build, regardless of which side of the circumstances you end up on. This model isn't a replacement for leaving a bad situation. It's what stops you from needing new situation after new situation to finally feel steady in one. In a nice way, it's saying, what if the problem is you? Here's where most women lose this. The second an uncomfortable feeling shows up, anxious, restless, fed up, irritated, the instinct is to get rid of it fast, scroll by it, eat past it, drink past it, shop past it, escape past it, plan the next thing, get past it. But that's not processing actual feelings. That's trying to escape, squash it, hope it goes away. And suppressing emotions can feel productive, especially when you have work to do, responsibilities to take care of. It feels like you're ignoring what's really going on purposefully and moving forward, but it isn't. It's avoiding emotions in order to get your to-do list done. And you can get things done, but you're still avoiding the emotions. And that will come back to haunt you if they aren't addressed. For example, a woman feels this low-grade dread for the job she goes to every day. She's started to outgrow it. Instead of sitting with that dreadful feeling long enough to ask, what is actually bothering me? She tries shorter-term solutions, taking a week off, booking a vacation, redoing the kitchen, starting a side project, anything but looking at the feeling directly. But the dread doesn't go anywhere. It's still there when she gets back from vacation because she never dealt with it. She just outran it for a week. And here's what nobody tells you. You can't just skip past a feeling you haven't let yourself feel or admit is there. You can only catapult through it with ramifications. The anxious feeling isn't the enemy. It's internal data that something isn't sitting well with you. It's your circumstance and your thought colliding, showing you exactly where the misalignment is. When you suppress it, numb it, buffer it, you lose the information it was there to give you. You miss the signal. If you just stay in the loop longer with better distractions, you hope to get away from it, but that's not how it works. Instead, it's important that you acknowledge and feel your uncomfortable emotions. Name the thought or thoughts underneath it. Then decide what you want to think instead. That's the whole sequence. If you find yourself thinking negatively about your life circumstances all the time, you may ask yourself, what do I want to spend my time thinking about instead? How can you do this today? It's not easy to change our habits and patterns, especially when they're deep-rooted and have been working for us for a long time to either help us get ahead or hinder us from getting ahead. Here's a version you can actually use the next time that negative feeling shows up about your circumstances. Just take 5 minutes, not a whole vacation. You don't need to fluff it up with candles or anything. And just sit quietly. Name the emotion. Not I'm fine, the real world. I'm anxious. I feel resentful. I'm worried. I'm pissed off. Say it out loud or write it down. You may find that you have a lot of feelings going on. Don't hold back. Step 2, ask, what were you thinking right before the feeling hit? Like, what's causing it? Because it's not the circumstance. It's the thought that you had in your head about the circumstance. Maybe it's a judgment, a self-judgment, your inner critic kicking you. Maybe it sounds like, I'll never catch up, or I'm not good enough at that, or I'm sick of trying. This isn't what I signed up for. Find the sentence, the thought that led to your feeling. Step 3, ask, is this thought getting me closer to the feeling I actually want, or is it keeping me stuck in the one I'm in? You should already know this answer. You're essentially asking, are my thought patterns here helping me or hindering me? Are they producing positive change or holding me back? And that's the whole point. And step 4, choose one replacement thought you can actually believe today. It doesn't have to be a total lie to yourself. Not everything is amazing. Maybe it's something smaller but true. You admit to yourself, I don't have this figured out yet, and I'm handling it. Or this is hard, but I'm capable. Believable beats inspirational every time when you are trying to go from the most negative Nancy in the world to the most positive Patty. It's a continuum. And so sometimes you'll want to just get to neutral thoughts before you can move all the way to the other side of the spectrum to all glowing, positive, sunshiny thoughts all the time. And step 5, practice the new thought on purpose. In the next moment that would normally trigger the old one. The meeting you're dreading, Sunday night, the scroll you are about to reach for instead. Practice your new thought there that leads to a new feeling. That's where change gets built. Now, to be clear, this type of thought work, changing your negative thought patterns so that they produce more positive feelings, more productive feelings, and lead you to more action than avoidance, they don't happen overnight. It takes repetition. You're trying to make this a new habit, a new part of your new identity. It's not just a single 5-minute session. Do it today, do it tomorrow, do it before that meeting that you're dreading. The goal isn't instant relief. The goal is moving towards a different default thought pattern 6 months from now by training yourself to look at your thoughts, not blaming the people or the circumstances around you. When you want to move ahead in life, get a new job, get a better relationship, have financial success, women want to become that person now. Most women skip right to thinking, I'll feel confident after I get the job. I'll feel abundant after the money shows up. I'll feel worthy after I lose the weight, after I land the client, after I get the title. A woman wants to leave corporate and build a consulting business, so she keeps waiting to feel ready. More clients, more savings, more proof of success before she lets herself feel like a business owner. But when you flip it around, she starts thinking the thoughts of a woman who already runs a thriving practice. Before a single client signs, saying, I solve real problems. My experience is the product. She starts making decisions from that identity, the confident one, pricing her time like it's valuable, turning down the wrong fit conversations long before the revenue confirms it. This is the identity work that we focus on in stage 4 of the Bold Life, becoming the person. You practice the feeling first, rehearse it. You're rehearsing, not pretending. To feel good, you don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need the external things in your life to line up first. A woman feels overwhelmed every Sunday night, dreading Monday. She's been telling herself, once I find a new job, I'll feel good again. But this time, instead of numbing the dread with wine and Netflix, she sits with it for 10 minutes. She sits with her feeling. She names the thought driving it. I feel like I have no control over my week. Then she picks a new thought to practice. I get to decide how I show up tomorrow, regardless of what's on my calendar. I've chosen this life. She may not feel perfectly redirected, but if she goes through this practice, she will likely feel closer to good than she did last Sunday. She felt the dread first, changed the thought associated with it instead of just running from it or buffering or escaping. That's the catapult. It's not a leap, it's a pattern. Feel it, name it, replace it intentionally. You're not waiting on your life to change so you can feel different. You're not one buffer away from feeling better either. You are one honest look at the feeling and one decision after it away from feeling different right now. That is the work.
If you enjoyed today's episode, head over to theboldlife.coach for more resources, join our community, and start living your boldest life today.